titans on thunder tracks, spike-laced tails and sailed backs. Green and gray like armored stone, they roll through war zones cold as bone. From the frontline hills they see it all, mark the red horn's armored wall. And when the call to fire comes, the Gordos roar like 10-ton drums. Monster machines, monster machines. Shield lickers race, Godzillas roar, but the Gordos bring the fire of wars. Monster machines, shield lickers race, Godzillas roar, but the Gordos bring the fire of wars. Monster machines. Gordos strike from the high command, artillery kings of the shattered land. Gylos fall to the cannon rain, from thunder lines they can't contain. Saber tigers run, red horns charge, but Gordos hold the battle march. Steel and fire, cat and soul, Gordos makes the battle whole. Gordos strike from the high command, artillery kings of the shattered land. Gylos fall to the cannon rain, from thunder lines they can't contain. Saber tigers run, red horns charge, but Gordos hold the battle march. Steel and fire, cat and soul, Gordos makes the battle whole. Red horns scream with horn and flame, but Gordos lock and takes their aim. Through broken trees and cratered stone, their shells will crush the Empire's throne. Behind the charge they guard the way, shelling terror night and day. No step is lost, no ground is thin. With Gordos fire the fight begins. Monster machines. Slow and steady, power packed, target locked and never cracked. While shield lickers dance and Godzillas break, Gordos rains the fire on the make. Gordos strike from the high command, the howling gods of seas war band. Cannon-born they mark the sky, Gylos trembles when their shells fly. Iron columns may pound the field, but Gordos hold and do not yield. With cannons primed and plating cold, Gordos bring the thunderbolt. Gordos strike from the high command, the howling gods of seas war band. Cannon-born they mark the sky, Gylos trembles when their shells fly. Iron columns may pound the field, but Gordos hold and do not yield. With cannons primed and plating cold, Gordos bring the thunderbolt. From the hills of Zoi to the heart of war, the Gordos do not retreat, they unleash. One final cannon blast echoes into silence. Outside the titans roar, the war begins once more. The pre-hysterical monster machine. Outside the titans roar, the war begins once more. The pre-hysterical monster machine. The Zoids. Central continent flames with steel beach charge and lead blood stains. The Hellenic Republic holds the line, a shining cause by fate design. On the shadows of the dark continent, the Gylos rise, the level and content with saber teeth and iron fists. Their black machines scream through the mist. chains, and Redhorn Rex rust in the rain. Shield figures walk the fields they won, and sea turns slowly toward the sun. This is our world, this is our fight. Zoids of Helic, burn through the night from planet Z. We rise, we fall, the freedom stands above them all. Swarm like worms of war, but laser jaws even every score. Redhorn stomp with ruthless pride, but Godzilla meets them eye to eye. Jungles thicket, burning skies, the shield layers run where valor flies. Against the saber tidal eyes, their claws strike true, Republic never dies. Gordos Republic never dies. Monster machine, also machines, they're the Gordos swarm like worms of war. The freedom burns when the righteous spark. Redhorn stomp with ruthless pride, but Godzilla meets them eye to eye. Jungles thick and burning skies, the shield lookers run where battle flies. For coverage never turns, Jungles blows they fuel the dark. The freedom burns with a righteous spark. Hold empires rise but never last. Helic stands, the die is cast. Monster machines.
Metallic giants rise from iron grounds. Blue guardians down the heart. Lights and fury in the sky.